Hi boys and girls, I'm Mrs. Barentine, and today we are going to talk about lines. You're going to need a piece of paper and some crayons. Now, lines is an element of art, and it is defined by a dot that is moving in space. A line is the beginning of all drawings, and there are different kinds of lines, and I'm going to teach you their names today. Our first one is all beginning with that dot. The dot is very important. And I'm going to pick a crayon and I'm going to make a dot on my paper. Now to make a dot, you need to make an actual little circle. It's not just a dot. You actually have to make that circle because it is very important and it's the beginning of all lines. So I'm going to practice making dots across my paper. And if you have paper, you can and your crayon, you can follow along with me. So all of that starts with that dot. Now, we're going to move on to the horizontal line. Now, a horizontal line is straight across. Straight across. If we take our arms and we make our arms out straight, we will make a horizontal line. So, I'm going to practice making that line. I'm going to make my dot. I have chosen green, and I'm going to make that dot, and I'm going to pull that line across. And I'm going to make another dot, and I'm going to pull that line across. And that one was horizontal. Then we move on to the vertical line. And the vertical line goes up and down and up and down. And I'm going to choose red for that one. And I'm going to make my dot. And I'm going to pull down. And I'm going to make my dot. And I'm going to pull down. And I'm going to take my dot and pull down one more time. So it is a line to go up and down, and horizontal is side to side. I'm going to teach you a little song in a minute to help you to remember that. So our next kind of line is diagonal. And diagonal is not a horizontal line. And it's not a vertical line, it's a slanted line. It slants up and it can slant down. And it's called diagonal. I think I will pick purple. So I made a dot and I pull up at a slant. And I make a dot and pull up at a slant. And then I make a dot and pull down at a slant. And I make a dot and I pull down at a slant. And so that is diagonal. So I'm going to teach you a song now. It goes, horizontal, horizontal, side to side, side to side. Vertical is up and down, vertical is up and down, diagonal across. Diagonal across, and then get really tiny like a dot, because dots are so important. They start everything. So there's your little song to help you to remember that. Now, after these are our most important lines. Everything else kind of is made from that. Then we go to curved. Now, a curved line kind of looks like a rainbow line. And it makes our shapes like circles and wavy. It makes wavy lines. We have to have a curve to be able to make all of those lines. So I'm going to pick brown. And I'm going to make a dot. And let me get rid of this down here. There we go. Now you can see. And I'm going to go curve. And I'm going to go curve. And there's our curve line. And we can make curves line go up too. We could go dot and make it look like a smile. Dot, make it look like a smile. So all of those are very important lines. So now let's put them together and make some very special lines. I'm going to turn my paper over to the other side. Now we have wavy lines. Now wavy lines are a curve going up and a curve going down. A curve going up and a curve going down. So I think I will do orange. And I'm going to make a dot. Let's take our finger first and let's make our wavy line. So curve going up and a curve going down. A curve going up and a curve going down. A curve going up and a curve going down. So now let's make a curve going up and a curve going down. A curve going up and a curve going down. And a curve going up. Now what a wavy line doesn't look like looks like this. A bump, 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 bump. Now let's look at that. It has a curve going up, but does it have a curve going down? No, it makes a point. These are points. So it's not a curve going down. So this is not a wavy line. So I'm going to try again. A dot, a curve going up and a curve going down. A curve going up and a curve going down. And a curve going up. So that would be our wavy line. And our next kind of line is a zigzag line. And zigzag lines are really fun because zigzag lines go diagonal, down, diagonal, up, diagonal, down, diagonal, up, diagonal, down, diagonal, up, diagonal, down, diagonal, up. So let's take our finger in our air and let's practice. Diagonal, down, oop, I went backwards. Let me figure out where my finger is. Diagonal, up, diagonal, down, diagonal, up, diagonal, down, diagonal, up, diagonal, down. So now let's practice. I'm going to pick blue. Dot, diagonal, up, diagonal, down, diagonal, up, diagonal, down, diagonal, up, diagonal, down, diagonal, up. Now, that is a good diagonal line. Diagonal line isn't squiggle, 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 squiggle. That is not a zigzag line because it goes diagonal up and diagonal down, but it just kind of goes all over the place. So we need to make sure that it is a diagonal up, diagonal down, diagonal up, diagonal down, diagonal up, diagonal down, diagonal up, and down. So those are practicing most of the lines that we can use. And lines make shapes, and shapes make pictures. And that's how we learn how to draw, is first learning our lines and then making our shapes and then starting to make shapes into pictures. So I hope you had fun today, boys and girls. Bye-bye.